Hello everyone, welcome to welcome to Kalpa Kendra Tarot. I think I'm filming after quite some time for my English channel, so I guess you guys are seeing me after what seems to be like a long sabbatical. But I'll be honest with you, I often have promised to upload more frequently. What I have learned in the process is that if I don't give adequate time to prioritizing myself, which sometimes means spending more time on spiritual practices or self realization. I always tend to talk about spiritual practices, and I think people might be thinking, like, what practices are she doing anyway? Or maybe people think that I am doing a lot of practices, but actually, I consider self care and also taking the time out to just hang out by myself also a spiritual practice of sorts. It's not like I'm always meditating or always doing something which can be termed as specifically religious or spiritual. I'm also doing a lot of things which I don't know if people usually label to be spiritual, but for me it is a spiritual experience. So investing that amount of time on myself allows me to be a better healer, a better tarot reader, know myself, because you cannot understand somebody until and unless you understand yourself to that extent, or the extent to which you can understand someone. I'll take a moment there. Yeah, so the extent to which you can understand someone will always be reflective of the depth in which you have understood yourself or you've met yourself. I did forget to silence one of my phones and I don't want it to make a lot of noise, but anyway, so that's what I was talking about. Like, if I do not take out the time to just rest and sometimes not feel like, I have to make sure that I don't feel guilty about it, because the deadlines that I set for myself, obviously it is my own work. I don't report to anybody, so I have to kind of understand exactly where I am neglecting the things that are important to me, neglecting my duty, and also understand what is important for me to not um, buy into, or not like get blended with the hustle culture. I don't want to be part of the culture which sort of celebrates being busy all the time and not knowing exactly what you're being busy about. But then it's probably extremely fascinating to say that I'm so busy that I don't have time to do anything else. But sometimes the anything else that we keep away or we just tend to ignore is so important that everything else that you are giving your time to cannot be done properly if you don't invest that amount of time, where you have to stop being busy at one point and start understanding that if what you're being busy with, or what if you're giving your time to, is really adding to your quality, the quality of your life, right? The quality of your time here. So thinking all of that, I have understood that no, it's not a problem that I am staying away from the channel for so long, no matter what it looks like. Because although I love receiving some of your comments, and the fact that it is helping so many of you come to terms with certain realizations, both this channel and on the Bengali channel, when I look at your comments, I feel good about the work that I'm doing. But I also know that for the quality of my work to only improve, and for me to only be a better tarot reader, the kind of time I invest on myself staying away from the channel is necessary, well spent, and absolutely like must do in order to just be better at my work. This is the nature of my work. So that's why I've just explained in short what is happening out there, why I'm not able to upload more frequently. But I really wish that once the lesson part, once the spiritual activation part settles down a bit, I'm able to give more, like a lot more time to readings, among the many other things that I want to do. So the reading that I have prepared for you today is the biggest lesson leading up to your union with your, I'm going to include this in the future spouse series, although I have thought that I would not make videos for this future spouse series for some time. I'll upload some other readings before I get back to the series, but I think that this is a reading I would want to include in the future spouse series. Let's see what I do with the next readings that I have in mind, but this one I am including in the series anyway. Why? Because I think that one, you would be able to get a reading for any person that you have on your mind. Say the person that you have in mind is not somebody that you want to get married to, but you just want to know if you do have a union, like if you do come back together, what it would be like, or what is the biggest lesson that you will get before the union. I do think that this reading is going to serve something like that, but I mostly want people who have that person in mind that they want to spend their life with. I want this reading to serve them primarily, so that they are able to understand that the big lesson that they will be learning or they will be realizing, which will be absolutely crucial for their union. Because you see, life is a series of lessons, a series of realizations. So sometimes when you are meeting a person for the first time, what separates you from having that moment, like for a lot of people, I know it's very easy. You meet the person and you just know that they are the one. Like I was just listening to an interview by Priyanka Chopra where it was discussed that Nick Jonas just knew that Priyanka Chopra is the one, and that's how he used to refer to her as the one. So I guess that for some people it's like that, but the lesson that would make it possible for you to come into union or even understand who the one is, the biggest lesson before your union, the biggest lesson leading up to your union, is what I am going to talk about in this reading. And for that I have 4 piles. I hope I hope the topic is interesting for you, because it's very interesting for me. When I thought about it, I thought that I really want to know what that big lesson is for me, which I will get before I unite with that person or the one. Right, my one. Okay, so having said that, let's get back to the reading, because I did talk about my life in great details for about 8 minutes now. Going to be 8 minutes. So yeah, for group 1 we have this conch shell, for group 2 we have this conch shell, for 3 this, and for group 4 this. I hope you're able to see your conch shells, and like always I have prepared 4 readings, like I think is going to be my signature style. I like working with 4 readings, or maybe the number 4 is very significant for me, which I'm finding out it is. Right, so I won't spend any more time talking to you. I'll just go to your reading straight away. So see you at the click of your timestamp. Hello group 1. So if you had selected this conch shell, then welcome to your reading. The Yogini, from the Yogini Oracle deck, the card that you have is Yamuna Pada. And after you've seen your card, I'll just flip it and introduce you to your other Oracle cards, which is Eva and Renewal. Right, so group number 1, what can we say from Yamuna Pada? If you have seen the Oracle card, you know the one that I'm talking about, like this one, right? So Yamuna is yummy. Yamuna Pada also represents the yogini called Yami. Yami is the sister of Yama, and in Hindu mythology there is also a reference to the fact that Yama and Yami were pretty much the first man and woman on earth. So one thing that you have to know, which may be slightly uncomfortable, but in Vedic astrology we consider Bharani Nakshatra to be the one ruled by Yama, okay, the god of death. So he is basically called Yamraj, and who's also a deity. Now the thing is, Yami and Yama had a romantic angle to their relationship where Yami, seeing just how great a person Yama is, falls for him. And usually when we find a connection of a certain planet which is supposed to denote your future spouse or a romantic relationship, and that planet has a certain combination with Bharani Nakshatra or somehow connected to Bharani Nakshatra, and when you usually read the chart, you can also get a glimpse of what is happening, like you almost see it in your vision. So it usually shows a relationship where you fall for somebody who maybe, I have seen relationships where people have been attracted to their brother or sister, sometimes distant brother or sisters. I have a friend who has this combination and got married to her fourth or a third, fourth or fifth cousin. I don't remember. I think pretty much, I think fourth cousin. So a situation like that is possible with this card. One of the things that you are, but that's not what the card talks about. The card talks about Yami finding out, like after Yama died, Yama went to the land of the deceased, and Yami, because she was the stream of Yamuna Pada. Yamuna is also a river in India. So Yamuna flows through earth and then meets or leads up to the abode of Yama, which is also the abode of deceased people. And she fertilizes the land through which she flows, and she has this ability to go to enter the land of deceased, the land of people who've already left earth, and also come back to earth. So she's pretty much the connection. This river is pretty much the connection between the land of the people who've left and the people who already exist, the living and the dead, right? So that's the connection. And here the major lesson that Yamuna Pada brings is that of life and death. Because if you look at, I'm not going to show it too much, but if you look at this yogini, she has two cups here, and one is of water from the land of the dead, and the other is blood from living beings, okay, denoting vital energy. So she symbolizes duality, and also how the fact that she has two cups kind of shows that you are going to have this immense feeling of love for somebody that you feel circumstantially. It could be a relationship where you are somewhat related, but even if it's not so, the biggest lesson that you get is there is an impossibility in the kind of love that you're trying to experience with this person. But even with that angle, you would realize that the intensity of your feelings is so great that it feels like you cannot love a person after this. Like you've met the one, and if not this person, like your intensity, the intensity would not, you might feel the intensity the first time you meet them, but you would only be able to make sense of how deep or how the gravity of it, the severity of your feelings will only make sense to you with time. And you're going to realize that you are probably not going to be able to love anybody else, and the theme of duality will play a big role in your relationship. One of the major lessons this card carries is that of knowing that life and death are both embodied in you, because Yamuna is the one who has access to both the living and the dead. So it's like you embody both of them, and yet you are like, both of these two events are embodied. Like from the moment you are born, you're dying, and even when you die, you're born in another way, like a different sort of life, like afterlife or something like that takes place. So this is just the illusion of mind, but every end is in beginning, like is a beginning, and every beginning is end of another thing. So you get it, when you're born, you died in a certain way to be born in a certain way. So this lesson comes to life, and you understand that a lot of what you're dealing with in terms of this relationship is the illusion of your mind. It actually does not, like, the impossibility of coming together with this person is illusory, and you can make this happen pretty much by realizing, like, you can make the union happen pretty much by realizing that you are beyond these illusions that are either man-made or like pretty much a creation of your mind, because you are beyond life and death, like this duality, you are beyond duality. So you're gonna in a certain way come into unity consciousness, and there is going to be a huge, this renewal energy is going to be pretty big. I just saw 1551, so mirroring numbers could be very significant when you come together with this person. In fact, what is amazing about tarot, always that about this reading, but again about tarot readings and spirituality, is the connection that is eventually weaved, through cards that come out. So with renewal, this card also talks about the end that you perceive is not really the end but the beginning of something new. So pretty much the same message, where you will meet this person and understand it is pretty much the end of you living with a certain prejudice in mind, or a certain bias, that or certain impossibility which you thought was impossible. Like, you never really thought that this is going to be you, or you are ever going to do something like this, or you are ever going to want to form a relationship with a person like this. And it will be the birth of a new you, which understands, like, the person who understands that sometimes relationships or sometimes feelings can be this complicated that it makes us walk down a path like probably Yami had to through Yamuna, which led up to the the abode of Yama. So sometimes before you meet this person, you are going to question a lot of conditioning that exists in the world as impossible, but eventually it is going to make sense to you that pretty much like twin flame. A lot of people who are not twin flames are not able to understand the concept of twin flames, like you're literally one soul. So they're referred to as twins as well. So it might not make sense to you how people who are referred to as spiritual twins, and on earth we have twins who are brothers and sisters, so how come twin flame is a concept which has romantic angle to it? So you are going to understand concepts and conditions in a very different way having met this person, and it is going to be a renewal, and you're going to become a very spiritual person after you meet this person. But we also have the card Eva, which is the card number 16, which is 7. What I can understand, 7 is a very spiritual number. When 7 enters a reading, I know that it's saying that, yeah, spirituality has entered the equation. Although everything is spiritual, but it's very highly, deeply spiritual. So what I do understand from the card Eva, which talks about being careful about trusting somebody whose intentions you are not fully aware of, I would think that your rationality and the fact that you are having a spiritual experience, or you're having an experience where your conditioning is breaking down, there's a collapse of the way you look at the world, you're pretty much being forced to look at the world very differently, and that is what is going to be the biggest lesson that you get before union with this person. So what I do understand from Eva is that there will be contradiction, a constant mental conflict that you are going to wage within your head, like you're going to fight within your head, because your rational mind is going to want to kick in and tell you that everything that you're experiencing is an illusion of your mind, and your soul is going to tell you that no, trust me. And you are not going to know whether to trust this experience, because this is very, even in delivering the message to you, I've had a very hard time, because I was talking about concepts which are, again, sometimes can be tagged a taboo, but sometimes is very unconventional to address. So you see what you're going to experience. If I'm having this much trouble in explaining to you, you can pretty much understand how much trouble you can expect in explaining to the world what you're going through. And now we are going to look at your tarot readings. This is going to be the major experience that you have, sorry, a major lesson that you have leading up to your union, before you come into union, or the lesson that is going to dominate your union with this person, right? Who I think is going to be the one, your future spouse. Okay, group one, spirit, yeah. So when I was talking about this mental conflict being there, the card that I had in mind is Five of Wands. To be honest with you, I really had Five of Wands. It feels like everything that I thought about before doing your reading, while doing your reading, is coming together. So you're gonna have huge mental conflict, and you're gonna have to resolve it on your own. And from this time onwards, like after having resolved your own cognitive dissonance inside your head, you're gonna be so understanding of other people's situation, and you're gonna understand why certain relationships which are termed complicated are need that much consideration, or you cannot just sweep it under the carpet and want people to hide their difficult emotions because you have difficulty dealing with them. Just because there are topics that you don't want to address doesn't mean that you should expect the same from people. And you're going to bring those things out in the light, that I have faced something which, because you will say that I have faced something so unconventional that it gives me the ticket to understand some things which I felt that I would never have to see, or I would never have to question or integrate. I can just, shrug it off and just be like, people do that, oh really, like that. Like you don't have to take responsibility for the world doing something like this. It's not your problem. Things that you used to consider to be not your problem are going to show up in your life as your own problem, and this time probably the biggest problem that you have to address in this lifetime. The Fool in the reverse, what you are going to experience is that the severity of your issue will be such that you would feel like you're not being able to be yourself, and you cannot, sometimes you cannot be careless about your movements, because the Fool is not somebody who takes consideration of the consequences or what can happen before before the Fool makes that proverbial leap. Okay, that before taking that leap of faith, it does not really consider a lot of consider anything. It just goes, because it's the Fool, it's the beginning energy, it's zero. And just to think about it, that you cannot be this careless with this situation. This situation needs your consideration, because Eva is also here, so you are aware of all the difficulties that can happen, and yet you decide to take an action. But this action is not like a leap of faith action. This is a well thought out action, inspired action, knowing that this is what you have to do, knowing that this is required of you. You take this action. Okay, Knight of Swords, and you are being very structured and organized about how you are going to address this, how you are going to achieve this. This is in no way a joke for you, what is happening. Group 1, the High Priestess. Your primary guidance is going to be from your intuition. Your spirit guides are going to become very, very active. This is an experience which is very spiritual. So I would not be surprised that you have the High Priestess, because you show up as this person who's able to handle the intensity of their emotions, the intensity of spiritual guidance, which often the world teaches us to disconnect from. The first training that we receive is to not trust our intuition, and instead trust the routine made by the society, or what our parents or our caregivers tell us. But we are not told to trust our intuition that much, but trust external factors. So those external factors which have dominated your life will now take a back seat. Okay. Seven of Swords in the reverse. Eventually, I just wanted something to clarify the Eva here, or address the card Eva. Whatever you felt was the trickery here, or any way in which you felt like you were being deceived and had to be careful about what you're experiencing, is going to come to light, and you're going to see what it is that you had to be like, if you're being deceived, or what if there were false elements involved in this connection, if it was this connection that was false, or if it is your conditioning that is false. What exactly is deceiving you will come to light, and it probably won't be this connection. What will deceive, like, you'll understand that what was deceiving you, or what was keeping you from seeing the truth, is your conditioning, is what the world taught you to be like, or what the world taught you to trust. Because Seven of Swords is pretty much the deception, and that deception which your mind will tell you that this relationship is, or this connection is, will have to stand on its head, and you realize that you are being deceived by your mind, by your illusions, by the matrix, and not this person. You are not going to be so confused. Like, your confusion is going to clear up, and you're going to understand what action you have to take. And in places where you have to wait, you will wait, and in places where you have to take action, you'll take action. You're gonna know what to do, because Queen of Wands, the Wands energy is the energy of action, and when you become the Queen of actions, you just know which is the right action, and you will use your you will use your what is coming to my mind, I don't know how to frame it, but you will become your best version in order to solve this situation. You're going to become like, you're gonna use all your weapons. Like, I have always felt, I don't want this reading to be too long, but I do want to tell you that I have always felt that the emotions sometimes, which are the emotions that are termed negative, say for example anger and then fear, these are also tools that have been given to us to navigate through earth. You see, fear is a very important tool which kept humanity alive for a long time. If we were not innately predisposed to be afraid of certain things which can cause harm to us, there was a good chance that we would not be able to survive. So these are all tools and at your disposal, and you would understand what are the tools, whether it's charm, whether it's anger, whether it's I'm not saying charm is a negative tool, but I'm saying that whatever tools that you have, whatever your qualities are, how to use them in the right proportion in order to resolve your situation. And in places where you have to wait and you have to see the situation unfold, you'll be able to do that. You'll be juggling through a lot in order to get this feels like a very spiritual lesson, and I expected all the lessons to be extremely spiritual, so I'm not shocked. And it feels like you'd be dealing with a lot when you're doing this. You'd be dealing with your expectation from yourself, your expectations from the society, and also being authentic, because not only you have expectations from yourself, but you also have promises that you make to yourself, right? We often our first responsibility, our first how do I, like, what do they say, your first allegiance, that's what is coming to mind, is to yourself, right? So you are your first responsibility, and you're going to take cognizance of that. Like, as you handle the world before coming into union, you also are learning to handle yourself, and you're doing a very good job at it. So that was your reading, group 1. If you liked it, then like the video. For more readings like this, subscribe to the channel. Otherwise, I'll see you in another reading sometime very, very soon. Take care. Hello group 2, welcome to your reading if you had selected this conch shell. So let's reveal your Yogini Oracle card now. So you've got number 5, Ganga Pada. I'm not going to show this Oracle card too much, so take a look if you have to. Right, let's reveal your Oracle. This has this conch shell has a very bad reputation of not staying in place, but we are not forcing things to come out of their true nature. or not be authentic. So I hope like this also gets to be in its own nature, which is again I think going to be a big theme for you, coming into your nature. And your timestamp I had seen. Oh, wait a second. So I was talking about your timestamp, and it was 2911, which again is 1111. And the I did not want to say it like 2911, 1111. That sounded wrong, but I do mean that it's 1111 in a way, which is kind of synchronistic. Now, the cards that you've got, Ganga Pada, it's a very interesting card. Let me explain. Card number 5, huge transformation. 46 coming down to 10, and it's almost, the transformation is going to be complete before you come to union. That's what I understand. Although it is 10 coming down to 1, I get it, but I understand that it's going to be a completely new person before you come into union, and that's the biggest lesson that you are going to get. You see, in mythology, in Hindu mythology, Ganga has always been explained as this woman who's very temperamental, and she was basically transformed after Lord Shiva decides to intervene and hold her in his locks. So the way she was flowing through like earth and everything, in order to control her uh, descent on this planet, what Lord Shiva did is he like held this river in his locks in a way that she could flow in 3 streams, one going to heaven, Swarga, another flowing down to earth, which is Prithvi, and then the other Patal, which is hell, or yeah, pretty much hell. So Patal Lok, as it's called. So she flows through these 3 realms, and wherever she goes, she purifies that place. And coming into qualities of Shiva, coming in contact with Shiva, after Shiva holds Ganga, the river, in his locks, Ganga absorbs the qualities of Shiva, and so she is able to become this person. Her demeanor becomes somewhat like Shiva. Okay, and one of the she also gets the ability to flow seamlessly through these realms, but she also has this unique ability to connect the living and the dead, which again number group 1 also had, since it was Yamuna. But it's very significant. Like, Ganga is a very significant river for Hindus, where it is said that if you take Ganga in, like, go to the river and take its water in your right hand and take a sankalp, which is like decide to do something, then you get the strength to see it to the end, to actually practice it. Okay. And also, as a Hindu, when we die, I'm also a Hindu, when we die, our ashes are like put in this river. Why? Because it is believed that it will, basically, it's the way we go to heaven. This is our doorway to heaven. Okay, through the Ganga. By pretty much spiritually uniting with that river, we attain liberation from this realm. Or pretty much, that's a major step in our journey in this lifetime. So what I do understand from this Ganga Pada being your biggest lesson is one you will not have, because Ganga was infatuated with Shiva, and Ganga really did not have any idea about her role in the universe or what she was going to do. Circumstantially, it happened to be so. See, there are many mythologies about how she came into being this one of the major rivers in in this planet. But what I do understand is that she had previously a very different demeanor or a very different way of conducting herself, and it is after coming in touch with Shiva that she understands her role and is also able to mold herself into coming forward with her best qualities in the world. Okay, and that makes her a source of a source of very vital spiritual energy more than anything. Like the banks of the river of Ganga used to be one of the most one of the the places where I think with any major, it's the case with any major river, some of the most flourishing civilizations came up in the banks of different rivers, and so was the case for Ganga as well. But it has huge spiritual significance. I think any major river like that goes on to be very spiritually significant, since spiritual symbolism is something that every culture has been aware of. If we are not aware of it at some point in our lives, we could be ignorant, but you see, there would be people in every culture who is people who are able to be channelers and able to connect with higher beings, and they have passed down this knowledge through their own experience, how these rivers go on to be very, very significant, and Ganga is a very significant river like that. So one of the things that you would understand is your role in the world, which would require you to transform yourself completely before you come into union. You are probably one of the star seeds, or going to have a very significant role in shaping up, or in earth transforming into new earth, or so in the birthing of new earth, or in the coming of new earth, or the world experiencing new earth. If you're not aware of it, I would encourage you to Google it. So since so that you can learn more about it, or if you already know about it, then great, because this is something I feel you're going to play a huge role in the transformation and the change that is taking place. A lot of healers and a lot of ascended masters, a lot of higher beings have incarnated, and they are present on earth right now, so that they can balance the energy between light and dark forces, because there was a predominance of dark forces on earth, and if higher beings do not intervene in what is happening in the world right now, this balance will be um, unfavorably tilted towards light forces and favorably tilted towards dark forces. And in order to save the planet, which is absolutely crucial, if you want to experience, if you want life to continue, because the way we are managing the resources of this planet, the way we are handling our goals and visions, or just our life, because you see, there is a macrocosmic view of things and there's a microcosmic view of things, and at both, it's important to address the issues both at a macro level and at a micro level. Your role is going to be so significant in pretty much like Ganga, how she is flowing through the three realms and has a duty towards all these realms, a very significant duty. When she was awarded this ability to purify anything, she helped the gods living in heaven. She is of immense help to people on earth and also in hell, so in Patal Lok. So you see, your role is going to be very significant at both a micro and macro level, and in bringing the two things, or addressing the two things together. And you cannot come into union before you realize this, before you realize who you are and how you're needed. You are a protector here, you're a healer. So your union is going to be less about the union per se, and understanding just how powerful you are. Without this understanding, you would not be awarded the joy of sorry, not reunion but union. It could be reunion, like if you're dealing with a divine counterpart. Obviously it could be a divine counterpart relationship, because I think your role in this world is huge. I'm not sure how much you're understanding this, or how much you understand this at this point, because I think there should have been, I think must have been, a very deep sense of knowing that you are here for a big purpose. Yet I don't think you would have full clarity of what you are going to do. But what I can say from, when I was talking about joy, I was not talking about this card per se, but I'll address it now. See, joy, this, I don't remember what this lady is called, Daisy something, but she, wherever she goes, she brings joy. Joy is something that she carries with herself. You are going to be, and that, the lesson that is coming to my mind is, you are able to transmute energy. So you're basically this energy purifier. Wherever you go, you might feel very heavy after leaving a place, after connecting with a lot of people, because people tend to dump their trauma and their baggage on you. But they do that because their souls are able to, like, they might not be consciously doing it, but subconsciously or at a very spiritual level, they're able to sense that you are an energy purifier, much like air purifier. You will take, like, if they talk to you about it, or if they engage with you, if they come close to you, you are going to make them feel better. And God will give you the capacity to transmute energy, in the sense that whatever you whatever you experience, be it through another person, or be it in your own life, you are going to be able to send that back to source. Tell God that it is no longer needed. However, I'll address this card later. Let me talk about this first. Let me talk about joy. I'll talk about night ride later. It's such a significant card. Also, the term night ride, will go into it. But you will be taught by the universe how to send energy back to source when it is no longer needed. And you would literally be able to balance the energies wherever you go. People are going to understand that engaging with you, you might have a lot of people just wanting to meet you, just inviting you to different places. You might get drained. You might not be able to concentrate on your own goals or finish your own projects. It happens with me a lot, where I get late in uploading my videos or finishing my things, because I am called by so many people, just to spend time with them. And some of them are very close to me, family, friends. I'm only discussing this, it's a personal thing, but I'm only discussing this because I think this is going to be very relevant in your life, where people just want to spend time with you, just exchange energy with you. Sometimes they don't do it knowing that it's going to be heavy on you. They just think that being with you is going to make them make them feel joy, is going to make them happy. They don't understand the energy exchange that is happening, or psychic attacks, or the fact that you take on other people's energy. You are an empath and you're able to transmute energy. They don't understand all this. They just know that you feel good, and it's going to be a very difficult thing to experience if you are not trained by spirit, like Ganga. If Shiva did not take the responsibility to kind of merge his energies with Ganga, or let Ganga absorb some of his energies, Ganga would not be able to carry out her duties so well. So, and also Ganga had a crush on Shiva. So I'm thinking that the person that you are trying to unite with, you will have, first of all, you will have, why do you not want to stand in one place? You will have a crush on this person for a long time, and it might seem impossible to unite with this person. There could be involvement of third party, but what is going to make you unite with this person is your understanding of your own power. And if Shiva did not let Ganga have that experience, by letting her absorb his energy, Ganga would not be able to be Ganga. So you would get a lot of help from the highest self of your counterpart, whoever you're trying to unite with. The higher self will help you. This could be a twin flame relationship. I understand a lot of twin flames watch readings like this, and also if you are on a spiritual journey, this is when these readings make sense to you. And a lot of people on spiritual journeys end up encountering their twin flames, either living on this realm or in another, like in the cosmos, in another realm. They end up encountering their counterpart. A lot of people who meditate and do spiritual practices end up energetically encountering their counterpart. So you would be guided by the energy of your counterpart in order to integrate these lessons within you, to become your best self, your highest version, and understand how to execute your responsibilities, which a lot of it is going to be spiritual. So execute your duties and responsibilities, your promises that you've made to this planet before incarnating. All these things, how to do them dutifully in a good way, you will be shown with your by your counterpart. And in Night Ride, you can see that an elephant is carrying two owls. One of them is a mother, another is the child, and carrying them through the night. You see, so my original name actually means night, and I understand the significance of night in say ways that probably other people would not understand who've dealt with this energy so much. So night is when the world goes to sleep, and certain creatures and certain human beings also, especially dealing with the people who are working on their yin or are more in their feminine energy, can become very active at night because they are connected to the moon, the energy of moon. So what will happen is that you are going to work through a lot of issues which people are subconsciously aware of, but consciously not aware of, or unconscious about. So you would be dealing with issues that do not come to light uh, in the open very easily, or the society does not talk about, like mental health, emotional well-being, or issue, or spiritual distortions, how every disease is a result of, or every conflict, every issue is a result of a spiritual distortion within your energy field. These issues, which usually the world does not talk about, will be things that you deal with. And in doing this in your work, since it's energetically so charged and it could ask so much of you, it could drain you, you would be trained by spirit. So your intuition could be very, very strong, and just after coming into union, coming into contact with this person, you could be like, spirit could take charge of you. Like you could just the primary spirit guide that we are assigned in our lifetimes sorry. And sometimes we encounter spirit guides who are very significant for a certain stage in our life. So what happens is, I was going on speaking and I was going on channeling. I understand whatever I'm saying is very important to you, and I felt like I can't take a break, but I can only humanly do so much. So your spirit guides will become very, very active around you, and they will train you. Like, you could have the clear abilities which are very, very developed, so you could be able to feel things, see things, hear things, taste things, smell things. Like, you'd have all these abilities developing in you before you come into union. And when you reach union, Night Ride, you are going to be very, very well established well established in your power. Okay, so this elephant is symbolizing spirit guide for me, whose presence in your life is going to be huge, and they're going to make sure that in protecting the world, or in being this nurturer or protector in the world, when you shield the world and humanity from everything that could attack them, you are being guided and protected, and you're safe, and you will be safely transported through your journey of becoming joy, right? Such a heavy message to deliver. I know this reading will find people who are meant to hear this, like the lessons that are coming through. I knew this is going to be a very interesting reading. So your spirit guides will take you under their wing and make sure that you just know how to deal with these energies that you have been entrusted with. Two of Cups. You're gonna learn to love. You're gonna have a heart major, like obviously your heart chakra. every chakra is going to become activate for you. You're going to understand the significance of every chakra, and huge kundalini awakening you might experience, but it might not feel huge, in the sense that spirit guides will make sure that you're given things in small doses so that you're able to take it. The presence of spirit is going to be your primary guru. Like on earth we often have gurus, masters under whom we kind of train ourselves spiritually, or get spiritual capacities, gain spiritual power. For you, the primary guide is going to be spirit. And the primary thing you're going to understand is not only how to love, like two of cups, huge love energy, you're going to love this person, I get it, but the universe is going to use this person to awaken you to the love that you have for the universe. And a lot of meditative states where you just sit and think about your life is going to be the moments where moments when you integrate or activate energy codes, and integrate the activated energy codes within you. So you're going to just sit and relax, but at that time when you're thinking, or the world is thinking you're not getting much done, it's going to be those moments when spirit actually trains you. It is going to be a slow process. If you want to hurry, spirit is going to tell you all of this, like whatever. Like, I think you're more guided by spirit than you don't even need my guidance. You can just talk to your guides. Like, your guides are so powerfully present in your reading. Your guides are just there, so you can talk to them only. But thank you for spending time with me also. So it is going to be a slow process. And if you question, like, why is this being slow, why am I not being able to do actual work, when will I get to do all the work that I want to do? And see, you have Queen of Pentacles. When will I get to do all the work that you tell me that one day I'll have to do? Because spirit will train you every stage of this journey. Like, before you go for a public speaking thing, spirit is first going to give you, like, train you in public speaking. Make sure you have those platforms. It could be like spirit kind of forces you to lock yourself up in a room and just answer questions, imagining somebody's interviewing you. It could be something like that, but spirit will guide you in preparing you for every role that you have to take upon. And that is how you're going to know that when you actually do the work, it's going to seem like very easy. It's not that easy, but spirit guides will make sure like it is easy for you. So it's going to be slow, but it's going to be huge. Like, you are going to be so abundant because of the qualities that you develop, because of guidance, because you followed spirit's guidance. And your life, the quality of life is going to improve a lot. See, the work that you're going to do is huge, and if you don't have adequate training, which for you is primarily going to come from spirit guides, there's no way that you can handle this and you can become the Queen of Pentacles that we see here. So you will be transported from experiencing very, very chaotic energy to going into something very calm. So moving from chaos to very settled, calm energy, where you're transformed and your life is improved for the better. Like, you will understand, like, initially when you started out this lifetime, not knowing why you're so powerful or how to deal with your powers. Like, I'm seeing Wonder Woman when she's not aware that she's Wonder Woman, or having like huge powers or very potent energies, but not knowing how to handle them, how to deal with them. Then it's extremely chaotic. But when you learn to deal with it, when you learn to use your power effectively, you move from like Five of Swords energy to, like, that's what, like, you go to Six of Swords, move towards a calm energy. But you could experience Five of Swords initially, and then later part is going to, like, after when the biggest lesson from before you come into union with this person is going to be to understand how to experience, like, coming into this calm nature of yours. You will research a lot, learn a lot about spiritual concepts and about your role in the world. Spirit will make you do it. Okay, so Five of Wands is here about everything that you are here to deal with. Like, you are here to deal with chaos, and you are here to be the calm in the midst of a storm. So that storm will be nothing. Like, it will pretty much be like, yeah, that's the job that I do, that's the profession. Like, your profession is going to be this, but you're going to be the Queen of Pentacles in your Six of Swords energy when you deal with your Five of Wands. Okay, Four of Pentacles, you're not going to share a lot about you know, when you go through this, you are not going to share a lot about this. You're going to just go into meditation and talk to spirit about how to deal with some of the things that you're experiencing. So the world might not know, or it might be part of your journey to not share a lot of it with the world, because not a lot of people, I think, will be able to understand what you're dealing with or what you do. Okay, so pretty much coming into your own power and heading towards it. What I have explained is going to be the biggest lesson that you experience before coming into union with this person. And I just saw 5454. I have many reasons to believe that you're probably uniting with a divine counterpart. So group number 2, if you like the reading, then like the video. For more readings like this, subscribe to the channel. Otherwise, I'll see you in another reading sometime very, very soon. Till then, take care. Hello group 3. So if you had selected this conch shell, then welcome to your reading. Group 3, let me reveal your Yogini Oracle card, which I'm not going to keep here for too long, so I hope you take a good look at it. It's number 4, Pingala Pada. So something strange that I've noticed only now is that group number 3 had card number 4, group number 2 had card number 5, and group number 1 had card number 6. So it was just the progress in reverse somewhat, or it was coming up consecutively but reversed. So whatever that means. If group number 4 goes on to have group number, what is this, 4, right? So 3, I would be more amazed, but I don't think that is the case. I did not select them randomly. I actually shuffled the deck to get these cards, so I don't know how it happened. Now let's reveal your oracle cards, the other 2 oracle cards. Perception reversed and 28. Can you hear me? Right. So group number 3, let's talk about your Yogini Oracle card first, which is Pingala Pada. So this Yogini has, I'll show the Yogini to you once again if you want to. This Yogini has the head of a parrot, okay, the bird. So there is predominance of the color green. Here you have got green heart chakra card, and you also have a green gemstone here. So I think there's a lot of heart chakra activity happening before you are united with this person in your mind. Okay, so a lot of heart chakra things. I got interrupted. I don't remember exactly what I was saying, but I think I was talking about the predominance of heart activity or heart chakra activity in your lesson before you're led to the union. Okay, my eyes are also going to the things which are green. So green may be the favorite color, or okay, your person could be dealing with nature. It also reminds me, wow, I'm getting so many messages. Let me channel them one by one. So right. Okay, so I saw this thing on Instagram where there was a reel which said, like, made by a person, where the person is saying that I'm into nature, or a person is into nature, is like dissociating the person's connection, or disconnecting, or speaking from the energy of disconnection between the person from nature. Whereas you never talk about a fish, like the fish is into water, or you don't say that a cow is into grass fields. You don't say these things about animals. You would never say that the lion is into forest. Just like that, it is our it is who we are. It is our innate nature to be into nature. So don't talk about people who are interested in their roots and interested in themselves, and by virtue of that they explore nature. Don't talk about them as if they are doing something out of character or something that can define them. You should, like, it's like you would never talk about a person and be like, oh, the person is into houses because house is where the person lives. Just like that, nature is who that person is. So and does not deserve to be spoken of that way. So which I think is, wow, I'm getting so many messages when you come into, because you see, I was looking at my watch, which I wear mostly, like that's pretty much the only watch I have right now, and I've never seen it glow at a certain point, and right now it's glowing. Like it glowed a few seconds back, and I was like, wow. So it's like when you meet this person, you are going to experience magic, and you are going to question if this is just your perception. Okay, okay, I get it, why this card is reversed. You see, when this card is upright, this woman actually sees the garden not being abundant, being very, very scarce, with almost dying plants and leaves, and like with no leaves, dying trees, but is eventually led to this other is led through this other gate into the same garden, and the garden becomes abundant then. And she's seeing butterflies and very like very abundant trees which are overflowing with leaves and um, flowers and fruits. And what has shifted is her perception of the garden. So this coming reversed is that you will be questioning whether it is your perception that is making it look this way. So you will first perceive, like usually if it's upright, you first perceive the lack and then go on to see the abundance. But since it is reversed, you would see the abundance in the world, in nature, in this reality. Okay, I'm getting like the spiritual lessons from the Avatar movie, where you kind of understand how true it is what they showed in this movie Avatar, where we could pretty much, our life on earth could pretty much be the dream of a higher being in a different realm, especially if we are star seeds or higher beings incarnating on this planet to shift the vibration of the earth, of the planet earth. That's the sentence that I did not say in the last group. To shift the vibration of the planet earth, and to help it shift dimensions. So if you are a being like that, you would pretty much you can relate to the Avatar movie, where you might think of yourself as the dream of your human life to be the dream of a higher being. And also there is, in mythology, it is said that we are in the dream, the reality is the dream of Lord Vishnu, the maintainer of this universe, right? So something like that I am understanding. And right now I'm understanding why I'm getting a headache because I have my hair tied in a bun, and I'm like, oh, this is the cause or what? So you're gonna find a lot of solutions, and one thing you will end up realizing is that the abundance that you see is not a trick of your perception, it is the truth. You will be led to the truth, which will be like the role of the truth in your life will be unquestionable. It will be dominant. It will be like, this is the world that I'm experiencing looks the way that it looks because people are under this illusion, under behind this veil of ignorance, which even John Rawls talks about in his theory of justice. People are not able to understand what the real deal. Again, I saw that thing in my watch. People are not able to understand the world for what it is because they lack the spiritual understanding. And what I understand from your Yogini oracle card, which has the head of a parrot, is when yoginis have heads of animals, it is said that they are here to get over or rise above or decapitate their ego or mind, the illusion of mind, and realize that reality, the truth, the ultimate truth, has to be perceived without judgment, without the help of mind. You see, from the moment we are born, our mind activity becomes the most important activity that we have to do. We are judged and graded on the basis of how intelligent we are, but our innate understanding, our humanness, is not credited or is not valued, and that's why we tend to lose it. That's why we tend to disconnect from nature, for disconnect from who we are, and we tend to look for talents or qualities that would make us special in the world, in the eyes of the world. And we value people's perception of us more. And here you are being encouraged to look at the absolute truth, and which is not going to differ with perception. Like, you know how we say that your truth may be different, or my truth may be different, or what I believe in may be different, or what you believe in may be different. You might have been a person like that, but what you are being encouraged to understand is that you no longer have the privilege of thinking that there are multiple truths. There is one truth which you're going to wake up to before you unite with the one. And this Yogini oracle card has to do a lot with your creative potential, which you have never expressed probably, or you have not expressed properly, or in a big way before coming across this person. Maybe you were not even referring to yourself as an artist, or you never saw that you could live like an artist. A lot of people who go through awakening, spiritual awakening, and a lot of higher beings who are present on this planet right now, they go on to experience their talents as being the major source of their income in the future. Like, they go on to see that it is not in slavery, or not in being slave to the matrix, or feeding their energy to the matrix, that they are going to earn their living, but they are going to earn their living by doing something for the humanity and for the planet, which is only going to lead to its further improvement of quality of life on this planet. So their innate abilities, innate talents come out, which you are going to experience when you come in contact with this person, or before you unite with this person. What you will have to understand is the one truth, your role in serving that, how you are designed to pretty much align yourself with that one truth, how everything that you experience, or how everything that is happening is aligned, why the matrix is in place, what is the role of it, what ignorance is here to serve, what different emotions like fear and anger is here to serve, like are here to serve. You're going to understand the role of everything, and you're going to understand that there are no multiple truths. There's one truth, and people are only able to understand it or comprehend it differently based on their level, or the level of understanding that they have. And here in Can You Hear Me, number 28, what I do understand is that this woman is waiting for somebody, and you see she's in a conch shell. And you also have your own conch shell, but this conch shell, I don't know if it looks very much like, yeah, this is the closest to this conch shell. Of the many conch shell that I picked to do the reading today, you see none of them look like this conch shell. You got the conch shell which looks the most like absolutely, not absolutely similar, but more similar, the most similar probably. That's the one you got, and I did not do this consciously. Like, I did not even know that this is the card when I was picking the conch shell and everything. So that's spirit talking to you, and through symbols and signs, right? So basically what happens is this woman is waiting for her partner or somebody, and this ocean, the water here, represents the depth of her, or intensity of her emotions, depth of her feelings. But she's waiting, and she's pretty much like, can you hear me? She does not know if this person is able to understand her emotions and who she is. And she's being given this trumpet to blow. Anytime she needs help, it will appear. She just has to blow it. And one of a very interesting thing this card says is that she has the ability to turn passive silence into active communication. Only if she, and here you, like, not only if she, only if she, I added. So she has this ability, and here the card says that the only way you can do that, passive silence, or whatever you feel, you can only express it. Like, she can turn passive silence, transform passive silence into active communication. But what you can do, in order to do that or address that ability within you is give voice to your creative potential. So I'm seeing that you will become very creative and you'll understand how God is speaking through you. You will love yourself in places where you've not been loved, and you will understand how God is speaking through you in manifesting on earth that, the very things that God wants to bring into this world. How you are a medium for the change that is supposed to take place, and you will let God mold you. You let God speak through you, and instead of saying that, can you hear me, like passively, you will say it actively. You will create your art and you'll be like, can you understand me? It's like, this is who I am. Do you understand me? Like, do you see me? Something like that. You let your heart open in front of the world and be like, do you see me? Can you hear me? Like, this is what is coming to my mind. This is who I am. Do you think you know me? Do you understand me? So like that, can you hear me? So she's silent, but she wants this passive silence to be her active communication, or her way of actively communicating, which could be the same for you with your work, with your art. Okay, and you are not going to be like there are multiple ways of seeing something. You'll be like, the multiple ways of seeing something is only exists because people tend to look at life differently at different stages. But the truth, there's only one truth. That whole big one truth. Oh, very interesting. Can you hear me? I just didn't understand. Like, this is going to be so beautiful. Group 3, right? For a second there, I could not even see. You're just gonna know the truth for what it is, and you're not gonna doubt it. You're not gonna say that my perception of it could be different, your perception of it could be different, and depending on that, we the truth is different for us. You'll be like, no, perceptions can differ, but the truth is the truth, and the truth is, you will know what the truth is. So your understanding of the truth will be like unflinching, right? So unquestionable. 8 of Swords. You'll feel very, very stuck, and somehow, we go through these moments where we are not able to do anything. And when we say we are not able to do anything, whatever it is that we are doing becomes the only thing that we should concentrate on. Like, for example, say you are crying and you're like, I am not able to do anything. I don't understand what I'm going to do. I don't understand where my life is going. So when you're not able to do anything but cry, the universe is telling you that the only thing you're supposed to do at the moment is cry, is to purge, is to let your emotions out, is to meet yourself at the lowest of the lows, and experience that because every experience counts. So when you're stuck, you will experience that some of the inspirations for the inspiration for some of the greatest works that you're going to do comes from those moments when you felt stuck. Like this woman not being able to understand whether this person is coming or not, and she's just saying that, can you hear me? Because it feels like she cannot even move. She cannot even go to this person. She can blow on this trumpet to call for help, but she's not doing that. She knows it's the worst case scenario, and you probably felt like asking for help a lot of times, felt like somebody will come and save you, but that did not arrive. So you just learn to stand in your silence and experience everything, like 8 of Swords. And in those moments, you understood the pain of people so well, that when you get this ability to work on your creative talents, what you're going to do is express very well the intensity of your emotions. It is so less about the person that you're uniting with, and so much more about who you are becoming, or who like each one of you are going to become, like group 1, group 2, group 3, group 4, before you meet this person. I'm so glad I did this reading. So the biggest lesson before union is obviously not so much about the person, but more so about you, who you are. And so you are going to understand what it meant to be in that position, to not know if somebody was coming for help, to just go through that. And that's what you are going to be able to deal with so beautifully. When you create your work, people are going to be able to relate to you, because you are talking about a very difficult time. Your work, your art talks about a very difficult phase of human lives. And when you find in yourself the courage, and also the the knowledge that this is what your sole purpose is, or this is what who you are meant to be. You're meant to talk about your struggles, no matter how insignificant or helpless you felt at that time. You're meant to talk about that moment. Is going to be is going to be the greatest revelation for you, that you're meant to talk about your struggles, even the perception that is unchangeable, the perception of lack. You know how some this card talks about the perception of abundance is something that you have to wake up to. You are like, sometimes you might not have to wake up, like sometimes you don't even have to see the abundance in everything. Like you don't have to be toxic positive, you can just state your situation as it is. That is what you're meant to do. Three of Wands, and that understanding is going to lead you to your connections and make you popular. Like you're gonna talk about the dystopian reality, the grim future, or the grim present, or the grim past, and you're gonna embrace the dark side. Oh, Two of Cups and Three of Cups. Wow, this came together. So you're gonna love and connect with people based on your understanding of uh, maybe the darker side of you, or maybe the shadow sides of human beings. And you're going to get a lot of people, you're going to connect with a lot of people who are able to love you for who you are, because you learn to love yourself for who you are. You're not going to be diplomatic, you're going to operate more from the heart. You're not going to, this also, this Yogini Pingala Pada also talks about not operating from the intellect, but from the heart, and but from the soul, from not exercising judgment. Where you transcend beyond judgment is where you are able to understand your creative potential and express it without the filters of society, without the filters of conditioning. That's what you're not gonna you're gonna do a lot of unconventional work, and that's what is going to lead to a union. The courage that you're going to inculcate within yourself to show up like this, to show up in your truth, even if it is like Eight of Swords. If Eight of Swords is your truth and it's an uncomfortable card, usually if Eight of Swords comes out, we would be like, oh, let's clarify it with another card, because it's not a state where you want to be, or it's not a state where we want to live you, it's not a state we want to live you in as your guides and tarot readers, right? So you're going to be like, that's okay, Eight of Swords, I'm going to have fun at Eight of Swords. You're going to actively plan on your worldly expansion based on your spiritual understanding of self, your understanding of self, which may be very uncomfortable because you've dealt with a lot of uncomfortable things in your life. So it may be uncomfortable for other people, but the choice was given to you and you chose authenticity. You chose to be you, no matter how uncomfortable it makes others. It's going to be a slow investment in self-love, where you learn to wake up to your own power and understand how the world, and let the world deal with it. But it's going to be like, you're definitely going to rise in your excitement, the excitement with which you embrace some very difficult issues is going to be okay. This was the back of the deck energy for group 3 as well. So the excitement with which you like approach some very difficult topics is going to be a learning experience from the world. Like I said, that when you talk about Eight of Swords, or when you deal with that energy, the way you deal with it, the way you embrace it, world will understand that there is a different way of addressing very, very difficult issues, and we don't have to always make it look so grim or difficult. Like, we don't have to constantly empathize and like, empathize, yes, but not constantly sympathize with people who are going through a lot. We can also understand that they are also experiencing something big in their life, and those challenges are to be equally celebrated as like bad consequences are somewhat as celebratory, or as can be celebrated as much as good consequences. Everything is of Everything in this world can be celebrated, even scars, even wounds. That is the message that you bring, and it's a very powerful message. Group 3, if you like the reading, like the video. If you want more readings like this, subscribe to the channel. Otherwise, I'll see you in another reading sometime very, very soon. Till then, take care. Hello, group 4. So if you had selected this conch shell, then welcome to your reading. I'm gonna show your Yogini Oracle card, which is not going to be here for too long. So just take a good look. It's number 34, Erudi Pada. It has the head of a cow. Right. So let's introduce other oracle cards to this reading. No, this is how it was for all the groups. So number 30, White Rose of Hope. And why does it look wrong? No, this is how I want to put it. Yeah, so the card Service, and then 30, White Rose of Hope. Group 4. Let's talk about your Yogini Oracle card first. So the card has the head of a cow, and for all the Yogini Oracle cards, all the Yoginis that have heads of other animals, it means trading the ego or getting over the ego or intellect or the illusion of mind to realize the actual truth. Okay, and one of the main messages, you can see the card again. In one hand, the Yogini has the book of knowledge, and the other hand the Trishul, which is the weapon of Lord Shiva. So here what we can understand is that you are going to have access to, or you're going to use knowledge, immense knowledge of the world, in order to understand your role in the world. And you're also going to have one of the strongest weapons, which I'm thinking might be your talent in this world, in the physical reality, and you'll use that to execute your purpose in this world. So you will have like divine guidance, or some of the qualities of how in Vedic astrology, I'm not sure if you know, but I'll just tell you. In Vedic astrology, the mythology behind the deities which rule the nakshatras becomes very crucial for us in understanding what the nature of that person is going to be and what they are going to experience in this lifetime. So because mythology is basically a reference to guide people through the journey of life and make them understand what they might experience. So it is going to be something similar for you, where no, it's similar, it's same for everybody, but what is going to be similar for you is same for you or whatever. It is going to be some major nakshatras that you have, which are ruled by deities of great mythological or spiritual significance, like Lord Shiva, Lord Vishnu. One of the nakshatras that is ruled by Shiva, and then they go on to have a very difficult time in the initial phases of their life, and then experiencing something close to moksha in the later phases of life, is Ardra. Okay, Ardra nakshatra, which falls in Gemini. The Vedic in Vedic astrology has a story like that, and because of that, these people, especially if they have Ardra nakshatra in their ascendant, which is called Lagna. If the Lagna nakshatra is that, then they will have qualities of Shiva. So in a similar fashion, I think my body is just going into the sleep mode, because it's already time for me to go to bed and I'm still recording the reading. So I'm having difficulty in formulating thoughts. But what is going to happen is you are going to, wow, I am having overpowering anxiety. I feel like what you deal with in life is extremely difficult. You feel like your life is going to end like this, and you're not going to be of any use to the world. But you'd be guided by divine. What you're dealing with is like not in terms of anxiety, but the life that you're dealing with this lifetime is very crucial for you. and you will embody the qualities of maybe Shiva. Yeah, because Trishul is Shiva, and I also gave you the Ardhra Nakshatra example, whereas I could have given you any example. So you're going to experience things which are very tumultuous in the initial phases of life, and in the later phases of life you're going to learn how to calm the storm in you and use sorry use the things that you have learned to come into the role that you are required to for the benefit of humanity. And that is going to be how you serve the world. Your main question is, how am I going to serve the world? Am I of any use to the world? Or the life that I have lived, or the life that I'm going to live, is it going to be of any importance? And it feels like you feel very lonely in not understanding yourself, in not knowing yourself. Okay, another message with Yogini Oracle card is that like cows chew their food for a long time before they digest it, you are going to sit with the thought for a long time before you're able to make sense of it. So the book of knowledge, you will be like, I have access to all this information, yet I'm not able to understand what purpose am I going to use all of it for. But make sure, like, know this. I'm not saying make sure. I was going to say make sure, but I'm not going to say it because it makes no sense. Know this, that you are going to be able to use the knowledge in the right way. You're being given all this knowledge and all this wisdom, and you're being kept in this energy of loneliness, of not knowing where you're meant to go for a purpose. At one time it is going to be, at one point, this rose, this white rose that is guiding this woman, which I don't think she's able to see now because her eyes are closed. At one time you'll open your eyes and you'll be able to see the guidance. You'll be able to see that there is some presence, some beautiful presence, which may be a spirit guide guiding you towards where you're meant to go, and your lifetime uh, will be spent in service of God. Which, in phases, or where you are in your life at the moment when I'm doing this reading, even when you are, it is a very different message from all the messages that I got. Before union, you are not going to understand exactly how you are going to be of service to humanity. In fact, you might go into union, or come into union with this person, not knowing the role that you're meant to play in this world. Your person is going to because there's a very crucial message with the Yoginipada in this Yogini oracle, Erudipada, that the cows are able to digest their food after chewing it for so long, but humans are not able to digest their thoughts because they don't exercise the wisdom of their soul. They exercise the judgment of their mind, and if you're not able to get over the judgment of your mind, that is what I'm realizing. You are so hell-bent on seeing your importance and your role in the world, not understanding that every one of us is equally special. I don't think this thing makes sense to you. You feel like people just say this to make everybody feel comfortable. It's like how every kid that participates in a drawing competition are handed out a gift and there is no first or second, because that would hurt children or influence them to compete against each other. That is not a message that you want to give to children. That's why everybody is given a similar kind of gift, and you feel like it is like a compensation prize that you are getting from me or anybody, that everybody is special. Just people are saying this to you just because they are not able to see anything special in you. And also this there is an externalization of hope or guidance. There's white rose of hope. You are hopeful, you're being guided, but you feel like the power lies outside of you, not within you. You're not able to sense the beauty in your being. And you're in service to this, in this card as well. This lady is when she's dying, she's thinking her life, it's been a life service, but I'm not sure how much of it she realizes herself. So you're not able to see the beauty in your own life. And the lesson that you get is that this life, this existence that you have had, or the life that you have lived till now, and the one that you're going to live, has served God's will. Just like an elephant or any insect is living the life based on God's will, so are you. You're just as special as any creature of the forest or of the mountains. You're just as special as anything else, not more, not less. And I'm thinking that you have the hardest time understanding this, that how you are important and special in this world, right? So it's a very disempowering feeling to be in. But I want to know what is being done about this, because I think the only way out of this, or the first thing that you're going to understand, maybe you're going to come into union with this person not realizing your power to the fullest extent, because in all the cards I have seen that they realize their power, they realize what they have to do, and then they come into union. For you, you're going to be still confused. I'm very interested to see what tarot says. Maybe you're already successful, like you are already experiencing success, because we have king of swords and queen of pentacles. You're already well established in your like profession, and you consider yourself to be a successful person when you're meeting your person, and when you're coming into union with that, you're coming into union with them. The biggest lesson is not considering your it you have self-worth issues, but it's you don't derive your self-worth from your profession or what you do in the world. You feel like that is unimportant, something else becomes more important, your inner world, the way you perceive yourself. Five of cups, yeah. So there's huge loneliness, huge. It's like, yeah, I'm successful and all that, I make money, people respect me, but I'm still not fulfilled, and that inner fulfillment which I lack, that is what I need you to address. Six of Pentacles. You also help others, and you feel like you've been helped by God and by your guides themselves, but you don't understand your role. That is very strange. Like, why am I here? You, as if no matter what I tell you, no matter what you go on to experience. We have the Eight of Wands and Three of Pentacles. Like, no matter what you go on to experience, it's not enough, it's not clear why you're here, it's still not showing you your worth. Eight of Wands, it's going to happen fast, and you are probably going to come into union with your person at a time when you're still dealing with your self-worth issues, and your person is going to somewhat be working with you, or your person might not have a lot of experience about their like how to deal with these difficult emotions, and they might have self-worth issues themselves, and you're coming into union with this person not realizing that you both lack this awareness. But yet, because you guys are going to be a vibrational match, so a lot of qualities that you have are going to be mirrored by them. So you come into union with this person when you are in the similar energy of not understanding your power, who you are. You maybe come together because of trauma, because of the work that you're doing together. You probably come together because of uh, because you work together, because you share the same community, and you experience joy together. Right. So there's not, like, Knight of Swords is the fastest moving knight, and you pretty much have the Fool, which takes a leap of faith, not considering the consequences. So you come together with this person very, very fast into, after meeting this person. So the biggest lesson, I'm not seeing the lesson. The lesson that I'm seeing is that of not understanding self. And how are you understanding self? You're still in this illusion of doubt. Okay. You feel chained to your own understanding of life. You're conditioning it, and you're like, it's no way of living. The life that I'm living is no way of living. This is not what I'm meant to do. This is not how I'm meant to live. It's a very strange situation, if you ask me, that both these people who are coming into union have no understanding of self. So what is the lesson here? The lesson here, I feel, is that this is what is meant to happen. This is acha, your destiny is to come together with this person. Okay, even before I was pulling the cards for your lessons, I just understood that your lesson is not coming into understanding of your, like, of self before union so much, but it is more after coming into union that you will realize, you'll be able to address the self-worth issues. Before coming into union, I think you're only going to realize that you have self-worth issues, that you don't like yourself, that you don't understand the purpose for which you are here, you're not able to see the beauty in yourself, so you understand the lack, everything that you do, like you're stating. Okay, before doing a program, a healing program, which is say holistic healing, you know, if you're given a paper and you're asked to write down what issues that you want to heal and what problems do you have, the paper where you write all the issues is what you are going to understand before coming into union. What needs healing, this is what you will become aware of, that what guidance you need in life, and how this person can be relevant to you, or you would become so aware of who you are that this union will be forced to address that. You'll so aware of the places where you are not able to be your best self and shine your light and love yourself completely, accept yourself completely, are the places where this union is going to shed light upon. And this person is going to help you see how special you are, which is beautiful. Like, this is not what I wanted to say, because you see, usually what happens is that when we don't love ourselves, people who are in our lives just mirror it back to us, that they cannot love us because we don't love ourselves. But something very strange is happening here. Your person is entering your life and is showing you that this is the destiny that you wanted. Here somebody is entering, the love of your life is entering and showing you the places in which you're stuck, and it's also showing you the beauty in yourself. Very, very different reading. First you go into union not understanding who you are, not understanding how you're supposed to love yourself, and this is exactly what this person is coming here to show you. And it might also expose the wounds that you carried, the trauma that you carried, or you're going to heal a lot with this person. You're going to know your shortcomings before you come into contact with this person. You're going to become very aware of what you think is your negative side and what you think is your shortcoming, not knowing how to address it or how to work around those issues, and this person will expose those issues to you. And you'll have to stand your ground and defend yourself in the presence of this person. Like, this person might tell you a lot of things which exposes some of the more difficult emotions that you have. Like, for example, if you have fear of abandonment, every time this person is leaving the room, you might be like, don't go, don't meet your friends all the time, don't leave me. And this person is just going to make you feel like, make you think like, what do you mean, just meeting my friends gives you anxiety? Are you sure you don't have fear of abandonment issues, or you don't have separation anxiety? This is something that you have to uh, consider properly, and you would like become aware that there's something that you need to address within yourself, which you never even thought that was an issue. Because before you came across, see, it's not about giving issues certain terms and making a big deal out of it, but giving things names and terms also makes us identify them more easily. So your issues are going to become more identifiable to you after you come across this person. If you make a comment to this person which is passive aggressive, this person is just going to call you out and be like, you're being passive aggressive for no reason. If you don't respond well to criticism or cannot take even constructive criticism, this person is just going to make you aware that you lack that capacity, and you are going to become aware after your union with this person, with the help of this person, that the things that you felt that you couldn't address before coming into union are now becoming more recognizable to you. You're understanding very well what those issues are. And it's going to become very easily easily recognizable. And another thing that is going to happen is that you're going to learn to identify these issues without making a big deal out of it. Like, things that you have kept within yourself, like the Four of Pentacles that you have not shared, are going to become very prominent and clear to you. But you're gonna go through an inwards journey where you don't make it public. A lot of what you're experiencing, you don't make it public, and you go through it alone. Yeah, Nine of Swords. You go through, you're just going to understand before you come into union with this person that what is it that you have to address. And as you move into union, somehow this person is going to, with the help of this person, or by letting this person trigger you, by letting this person mirror you, you understand more and more that this person is showing you wounds within yourself. Okay, and you're not going to want to scream about it from the rooftop. You'll keep it to yourself, but you'll work through it. You'll become like you at that point you'll become your friend. You'll become the friend that you never had to yourself. To yourself, you'll be that guide, you'll be that friend. So that was your reading, group 4, which is like very unique, very interesting. Not, I didn't expect this. Sort of let me know how you like it, or if it resonates, or if it makes sense that it will resonate at some point. Anyway, let me know your thoughts. If you like the reading, give me a thumbs up. If you want more reading like this, then do subscribe to the channel. Otherwise, I'll meet you in another reading sometime very, very soon. Till then, take care.